In neighborhoods where crime is high, trust in law enforcement and government often runs low. Over time, violence can start to feel normal and even inevitable. But when trusted community voices step in and take part in violence prevention, something powerful happens. They change the narrative. They set a new standard, sending a clear message. In this community, we protect life. We don't take it. Around the nation, gun violence is destroying families and weakening communities. And it's becoming a leading cause of death for young people. We know that in nearly every city, only a small number of people are driving most of the violence. An approach called Group Violence Intervention, or GVI, identifies those individuals and engages with them directly, trying to offer them a way out before the violence occurs. It's not just about stopping the shootings. It's about building a community where everyone feels like they have a shot at hope. Reverend Kevin Crumpton is a pastor and a community leader in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. His city is one of several around the nation that has seen a sharp drop in homicides after the implementation of group violence intervention. His role as a trusted voice in the community made him a good fit to serve as GVI project manager. His story shows how trust, compassion, and strategy can come together to save lives. Reverend Crumpton's journey into violence prevention began long before he held an official title.
So my whole life has been tied around youth. I started out by being a probation officer of a 6th division for the high risk. And I was there for about 9 years. And so I decided to also work on the county side. I was a lieutenant on the night shift at the jail. So I had a lot of opportunity to meet the parents and the children when it came to, people being incarcerated. But I have a deep passion for youth. I was a PTO president for 7 years through the Pine Bluff School District.
He shows up when families are hurting the most. When tragedy strikes, he's ready.
Within 24 hours of any homicide, I usually go to that home the next day. That particular night at the scene is really not a whole lot you can offer because they're dealing with grief. And grief is just like a tsunami wave. When death hit them, they really don't want to hear a whole lot because they trying to, receive what just happened. So the following couple of hours, I go over and we'll introduce them to a care pack. Some families they actually don't know what to do. So what I do is provide them the services to help them to get over that next little hump. Even when it comes to funeral arrangements, sometimes we have victim relief funds. I try to introduce them to people that can help them to assist them with paying for the funeral. So what we try to do is provide them wraparound resources that also is there for the whole family, not just one particular individual, but we do follow up at the schools. We try to talk with the counselors and let them know that this child has been affected by gun violence. Just be on the lookout because his behavior may change.
The work has paid off. For more than a year and a half, Pine Bluff saw no juvenile homicides. Reverend Crumpton says every single day mattered.
We are so pleased because we made it to 553 days. And at any time, the scenario can change with just one bullet, and it did. But that was 552 days of family of a youth didn't have to plan a funeral. So that's success. Most funerals on Saturdays, and it's a little bit peaceful when you don't hear the police siren escorting the family. And so we have silenced a lot of things, and I always try to let people know that when good things are happening, you got to let people know they're doing great things. Now we're at 27 days, so we had to start over. So I've been going to the schools, talking to some of the kids, letting them know that our count had to start over.
He describes himself as a bridge, someone trusted by the community, but also working hand in hand with law enforcement.
And so what I am the Cadillac seat for law enforcement, uh, the community, and the social services. They have gotten me to the point where I'm on the app where if someone gets shot, if they have a motorcycle accident, anything, they'll give me a alert on my phone, and then it's up to me to go and respond at that hospital. The trauma surgeon, Leanne Robinson, she is outstanding at Jefferson Medical Hospital. She reached out to me, got me plugged in. Usually if it's a gunshot, when the ambulance service get there, they start uploading information. And so that gives me an opportunity to meet them at the hospital. And the reason why is because most people who've been shot really don't like talking to police officers. And I'm the community guy. And so what they do, they may just tell me, hey, man, this guy shot me. Can you go get my mom or wife or kids out the house? They may try to retaliate by shooting up the house. And so what I do, we encourage people to donate. Most churches will give funds to where we have emergency funding, and I can move them to another location for a couple of days until things settle down. Majority of the people that end up at that hospital, I've already dealt with 2 or 3 generations of their family. And so a lot of times when I go in, they're automatically saying, hey, Rev. And for the ones that don't, I introduce them, let them know that, he's not in any trouble. I want to make sure that, if a kid got shot and he's in the hospital, I want to make sure he still graduate, So I build my relationship, then go to their home and visit them when they get out of the hospital. So those wraparound resources and notifications that we do really help. Even the police officers that are coming on now, I used to be their mentors when they were playing Little League football. And so it have to be somebody that can have access to be able to go into the adult jail and juvenile detention center, and they'll pretty much say you're welcome in. But if they don't know you, it's going to be hard for you to really, get past those barriers. So you got to be a person that's well-grounded and people know you in that community for you to get those kind of, treatments. Starting with the sheriff, Will says, Crumpton, is anything you need? I said, well, I used to be a lieutenant on the night shift, so I know how the jail laid out. So I can walk around, go in all the courts with the judges, and they just glad to receive GVI. There are a lot of family members that have lost children to gun violence that may not have had their case solved. And you cannot forget about those that have lost. A lot of times the problem is that maybe a detective is assigned, and if that detective relocates and moves, the communication can get dropped. And so I try to encourage them to follow all the way through. 15 particular families that come out, and we call it our grief session. And they come and they share their testimonies about how it feels, not even to have phone calls for people to follow up. We've already discovered that it's about 5% of people that live in Pine Bluff that's causing all the havoc. And then the partnership with me and the judges, if I go out and talk to them and tell them, okay, if you don't stop, then this is what's going to happen. And if you get caught with a firearm, the judge may have a $50,000 bond on you. So everybody can't get out on that. So sometimes they got to sit 5 or 6 months. And so what happens is that the shooting now start to decrease. Yeah. We got the main hitters locked up.
Beyond responding to violence, GVI in Pine Bluff focuses on prevention, planting seeds of hope before violence ever takes root.
You can start as elementary schools, middle schools, and work your way in if you work together. I meet with the dean of student. Then that ties you in with the connection with, you can have bouncy houses, water slides through the police department. And that ties them into the school. So if they do a fun day, it's, you got law enforcement that's there to assist you, and you got all the community support coming. So what I try to do is just let them know the prevention side is so important. Everything is coming together. The communication with the schools, the superintendents, and law enforcement, everything is working.
For decades, Reverend Crumpton has seen his city's struggles and its potential. Through GVI, he believes that Pine Bluff is now turning a corner.
Well, I have seen some changes where, even with law enforcement, to where since GVI has come to be in partnership, they have beefed up their patrolling in areas where there used to be a gunshot in different areas. Now we've considered them hot spots, and we have police officers on every shift riding through with their blue lights on, and then we'll clean up 40 blocks at a time. And so we clean up, and now we just relocating to another section that we just finally moved from. And that's very successful because we're targeting the areas where people are shooting, but we're also encouraging the people in the neighborhood, if you hear some shooting, don't be silent about it. Call it in so we can get that patrols over in that area. I'm very thankful for the role. I believe that it was a calling, and I enjoy doing it because that's all I do, is try to be there to help people during their toughest time. And we're on the move here in Pine Bluff. We're working together, and we're, just doing things out in the community, and we're visible. And so when we see the little orange shirt, it means ceasefire. Bodies are dropping and kids are dying. So I encourage any city, any town that's local, anywhere to get involved with group violence intervention. GVI is not a program, but it's a strategy. And if you trust the strategy, it will reduce the numbers of homicides and violence in your community.
Listen to A Shot at Hope on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Or go to smartjustice.org.